Hello, everyone. In today's practice, we'll be working on some balancing postures, both on our hands and knees and standing. So let's begin on all fours. Bringing the shoulders over the hands, take the time to spread your fingers wide apart, even spaces between the fingers, thumbs practically facing each other. And then with your knees, have them right underneath your hips. Take a quick peek between your thighs and see that your feet are hidden behind your thigh bones. Lengthening your spine, extend the crown of the head forward and your tailbone back. Smooth breath in, long, flat back, and just staying here for a few breaths. Now, to avoid any kind of sway in the back, gently draw the last set of ribs in. Draw the navel up into the spine. And then feel as if you could wrap your ribs in toward your midline, almost as if you were wearing a corset, really engaging those core muscles. Another breath or two right here. And then bring your knees in just a little bit closer together. Make sure your feet came in a tad as well. So from here, stretch your right leg back and behind you, pressing all 5 toes into the floor. And then from your inner right thigh, lift that right leg up, hip height. Now it's easy here to go back into a sway back once we lift the leg. So keep your lower abdominals engaged, keep the last set of ribs drawn into the body, and that corset-like feeling through your ribs. Now really extend that right foot behind you like you're trying to push the foot through a wall. And then send your left arm forward out in front of you, trying to lift that arm out of your peripheral vision. The left thumb is facing up. The right toes are facing down. Keep the neck long, so rather than looking forward, look maybe at the top edge of your yoga mat. Take another breath or two, feeling your body as it finds the balance between the heavier leg and the lighter arm. On your exhalation, release the hand and the knee back down to the floor. We'll switch sides. Send your left leg back and behind you. Press all 5 toes into the floor first and then firm both hands down. From your inner left thigh, lift that left leg up hip height. Keep the core muscles of the back and the abdominals engaged. Send your right arm forward by your ear, right thumb facing up as left toes face down. Think about reaching out in opposite directions as if a string were connected to your navel and we pulled that string down to the left leg. The same string from your navel, extend it forward through your right hand. And then release right hand and left knee back to the floor. So we'll do that again and adding on another variation. Send your right leg back and behind you. Firm the toes down and then lift from your inner right thigh. Send your left arm forward. Reach out in opposite directions. Find the length and balance. An option here to reach the left hand back, bend your right knee, and grab a hold of either the foot or the ankle. Once you have a good firm hold on foot or ankle, think about lifting that right knee a little bit higher. Press down into your right palm and breathe through the left side of the upper chest. Another breath. Come back to extended arm and leg, reaching left arm forward, right leg back. And release left palm and right knee back down to the floor. Send your left foot back and behind you, firm the toes down first, and then lift from the inner left thigh. Send your right arm forward, thumb facing up as left toes face down. Reach your right hand back, bend your left knee, grab a hold of the foot or the ankle, then lift that left knee a little bit higher, pressing that left foot back into the right hand. Feel how that opens up the right side of your chest. Neck stays long. And then back to that first position, arm forward, legs straight back and behind you. And exhale to release the palm and the knee back to the floor. Inhale here, flat spine, neutral back. And then as you exhale, round your back out, chin to your chest, drop the weight of your head forward. Pop up onto your fingertips here, and with the extra height from being on the fingers, see if you might be able to tuck the tailbone down more and round your upper and mid back a little bit more. And then release, nice long spine, palms flat into the floor. So moving into a modified side balancing posture, we're going to take that left knee about a ruler's length, maybe a little bit more behind the left wrist. Okay. Straighten your right leg and then press the right heel down to the floor behind those left toes. So the left hand, left knee, and right foot are lined up on the edge of your yoga mat. And then placing your right hand on your hip, begin to turn, opening your chest and heart. Sending that top arm up toward the ceiling. Lean the head back slightly. There's a tendency here to bring the chin forward, leading the pose with the nose. Let's keep the chin in line with the sternum. And now get broad across the collarbones, stretching the top hand up as you ground that left hand. Take another deep breath. And exhale to release. Hand back to your yoga mat and right knee down. So line that right knee up behind your right wrist, about a ruler's length and a half or more. Okay? Send your left leg back and then drop your left heel behind your right toes. So now right hand, right knee, and left heel are lined up on the right edge of your mat. Sweeping your left hand to your hip or straight up to the sky. Turning your face to the left. Now simply by changing our dristi or our gaze, that too might challenge our balance a little bit more. So perhaps on this side, look up at your left thumb. Stretching that left arm skyward as you plant the right hand down. On your exhale, release your left hand down to the floor and then the knee back to your mat. Inhale, flat spine. Exhale, round your spine, chin to your chest, drop the weight of the head. And pop up onto the fingertips again and push the fingertips into the floor. And then release into a flat spine. Palms down on your mat. All right, so from here, we'll come to standing, but we'll need to set the yoga blocks up so they're up near the front edge of the yoga mat. Making your way to standing. And before we use our blocks, we'll come to a standing balancing pose, tree pose. So from here, begin on your left heel. And take the time to spread your toes wide apart. Very much like when we are hands and knees, we took the time to spread our fingers. And then from your heel, begin to lengthen the foot down to the floor. And then start to release your toes onto the mat. Shift your body weight to that left leg, starting to bring your weight forward. And sense that balance across the ball mounts of your feet. So think ball mount, big toe, little toe, and then inner and outer heel. Now your right foot can come into a few different areas here. So the toes can stay down and the heel propped up against the ankle, or sliding the toes up off of the floor. You can come halfway up the leg, but avoid the heel of the right foot pressing against the inner knee. So maybe the heel a little bit higher than the knee or slightly below it. Or you can take it all the way up with your foot against your inner thigh. Point that knee away from you. Keep your frontal hip bones like headlights of a car pointing straight ahead. Hands together here in front of your heart. Rest the thumbs against the sternum and breathe the sternum up against the heart. It's a good idea to find something that isn't moving and that you can rest your eyes on. And start to release the hands from the heart and the foot down off the leg. So shake the legs out a little bit here. And then we'll move to the other side. So starting onto your right heel, spread the toes. And then begin to lengthen the foot down from the heel to the toes. Take the time to plant. And then from this root, really sense your body weight as you start to shift it forward toward that foot into the ball mount, big toe, little toe, and inner and outer heel. And then the bottom of your right foot, toes down on the floor, heel up against the ankle. Option to come up halfway up onto the leg, but again, avoiding the heel against that inner knee. Or bringing the foot all the way up to the inner thigh. Hands come together in front of your heart. Now sense the energy between the standing leg and the foot. They're pressing in toward each other, in toward the midline of your body. So if you're feeling like your foot is constantly sliding down your leg, press the foot more into the leg and the leg into the foot. Grow tall through your spine. Relax your shoulders. And release your hands. Relax your foot off of your leg. Good. And then the feet come down. Keep them about hips width apart. Plant through your feet, and on your inhale, we'll stretch the arms all the way up to the ceiling. Good. Interlace your fingers. Reach your arms skyward. Just a nice stretch here. Growing long. Just feeling your weight here for a moment, balanced across both sides before we go back into another balancing pose. And then exhale to release, relax your arms. Okay. So now with our 2 blocks, we'll stand behind the blocks, come into a forward fold with your hands on the blocks. Feet close together, big toes touch. And then just relax here a moment into a forward fold, letting the spine spill forward over the legs. Now on your next inhale, come up about halfway so that the spine is nice and long here. And then press the tops of the thighs back to the space behind you. Feel free at any time you need to come up onto the fingertips or change the height of the block to suit your needs. Okay. Now start to send your right leg back. We want to lift the right leg from the inner thigh, similar to how we did on hands and knees. Lifting the right leg about hip height. Sending that right foot back as if we wanted to push the foot through a wall. Now square the hips here. Oftentimes our hips want to stay open, the right hip rolling on top of the left. But here we really want to square the hips and engage both the inner and outer leg seam of the standing leg. Find your balance here. Keep the neck long, the spine long, the abdominals engaged, that same corset-like feeling through your ribs. Be mindful that the leg lifted behind you doesn't cross behind your left one. Keep the leg and foot extending from the hip. One more big inhale. And then keep your right leg straight. So instead of bending it to release it, let's keep the energy line nice and long. And then park that right foot in beside your left. That's it. Plant the feet down to the floor and then soften into a forward fold. Nice and easy here. On your next inhale, lift your spine, lengthen out halfway, tailbone back, crown of the head forward. Pull in the last set of ribs, create that corset-like feeling through your body, through your ribs. And now send that left leg back, lead from the inner thigh and inner heel as you lift your leg about hip height. Then really charge that left foot back, as if you wanted to send the foot through a wall, while keeping the length of your spine. Grow the legs apart from each other, one grounding into the floor, the other back and behind you. Relax the throat, any tension you might be creating in the jaw, and put that energy into your legs, into your core. Feel the muscles in the right leg and in the foot hugging to the bones of the right leg and the foot. Take a quick peek at your standing right foot. Be mindful that the inner arch of that right foot doesn't begin to collapse. Keep drawing up through that right leg. And then on the exhale, don't bend the left knee. Let's keep it straight as we park that left foot in beside the right. Relax into a forward fold. Let's take our hands off the blocks on this one. Hold the elbows instead. And feel your front spine spill over your legs. Gently nod your head yes, releasing the neck. Shake your head no, bringing front chin from one shoulder to the other. And then placing your hands back onto the blocks, we're going to bend the knees here, but before we do, separate your feet a little more than hips width wide. Turn your toes out slightly, heels in, and we're going to bend coming into a squat, letting our hips sink down towards our heels. Keeping your hands on these blocks, or hands come together in front of your heart, or send blocks and hands forward and stretch through in your squat. If you find that your heels don't rest comfortably on the floor, that's okay. Might be a little bit more of a challenge to balance on the toes, but a good one as well. And let's take another breath or two. And then reach forward for your blocks. Place them underneath your hands and begin to straighten the legs again. Turn your toes in and heel toe your feet back together. Okay, so from here, hands back on the blocks, spine nice and long, lengthening coming up about halfway. Pull in your navel, pull in your last set of ribs. So from here, check to see that your left block is lined up with your left pinky toe. And then send that right leg back once again, hip height. But now we're going to stack the hips. So begin to lift your right hip up on top of your left hip, turning your toes forward, heel back. And then maybe taking your right hand off of your block and just letting the right arm kind of dangle off of the shoulder. Option to also place your right hand on your hip. Keep your right toes facing out, heel back. You can begin to shift your eyes to the right, starting to not only let the hips stack, but the shoulders stack. Stay with breath. We'll release the hand back to the block. Square the hips off. Send that right heel back, pushing the foot out. Keep the right knee straight. Park the right foot in beside the left. Check that your right block is lined up with the pinky edge of your right foot. Hands underneath your shoulders, spine nice and long. Engage your navel, engage your core, pull your navel in and up, draw the last set of ribs in. And then begin to send your left leg back, hip height, leading from that inner thigh, so that not all your weight is in your arms. Really send that foot back. And then begin to stack your left hip on top of your right hip. Now, before you go any further, take a quick peek at your right knee and make sure that right knee continues to face forward, aligned over your right big toe and second toe. And that as you open your hips, the knee doesn't begin to turn inward or create a medial collapse in that right knee. Then option to lift the left hand away from the block, letting the arm just dangle off the shoulder, or placing the left hand on your hip. Maybe beginning to shift the eyes to the left. That'll help to start stacking the shoulders one over the other. On your exhale, release that left hand back down. Square your hips, left heel leads up. Keeping your left knee straight, park your left foot in beside your right. Come into a forward fold. Hands around your elbows. And then hands back on blocks. Separate the feet a little more than hips width wide. Turn your toes out, your heels in, returning to that squat. Drop your hips towards the floor. Again, that's fine if your heels don't come down. And then finding where your hands are comfortable, either up against your chest, elbows pressing against your inner knees. Hands can stay on blocks or send them slightly forward, coming into a bit of a deeper stretch here. And then on your exhale, drop your hips to the floor, coming into seated. So with your blocks off to the side, extend your legs out in front of you. And sitting up nice and tall, feel that length through the spine, send the shoulders back. We were quite forward in that last standing sequence. And breathing across the front of your chest and the front of your body. And then as you inhale, send your arms forward and up toward the ceiling as you come forward into a fold. Now we're not here for long. Keep light on the fingertips and drag the fingers back alongside your legs. And then claw the yoga mat with your fingers, lifting your heart up. Push the fingertips into the floor and lift your legs as one. Exhale to release. Stack the spine. Inhale your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward. Light on the fingertips. Drag your fingers back alongside your legs. Stack your spine, shoulders back. Squeeze the inner thighs together and lift. Exhale and release. One more time. Inhale the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, drag the hands back. Exhale, sit up nice and tall. Inhale, lift the legs. Exhale to release. Good. And one more pose. Let's bend the knees, feet flat on the floor. And then keeping your hands tucked underneath your knees, begin to lift your right foot so the right foot is even with your right knee. Relax that right shoulder. Release that right foot down. Then lift your left foot, left heel even with your left knee. Relax your left shoulder. And then the left foot down. So continuing to alternate one leg at a time or beginning to lift both feet together. So start by lifting the right foot and then the left foot. The big toes might touch. Hands supporting behind the knees. Shoulders back, chin up. Balancing across the sit bones. Lifting the crown of the head up toward the ceiling. Now it's important to keep your shoulders from rounding. Keep the blades supporting the back of the lungs. Resist the thighs from moving away from you. Keep the thighs in towards you. One more deep breath in. And then exhale, release. Nice work today, everyone. Let's come to Shavasana. All the way down onto your back. Relax your head here. Legs straight out in front of you. Arms resting beside you. Gently turn your head to the right. Just feeling the right side of your face come close to the floor. And as your head rests to the right, think about breathing down the left arm and the left leg. And then inhale, bring your head back to center. Turn your head to the left. And think about breathing down your right arm. Let the breath flow down your right leg. Sense the limbs becoming heavier. And bring your head back to center. Eyes remain closed. A few moments here in Shavasana. Beginning to deepen your breathing. And start to create movement, wiggling fingers and toes. Bending your knees. Rolling to your side. Making your way up into any comfortable seat. As you inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, hands come down to your heart center. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.